Vodafone Idea crisis. Will 200 million users lose their network forever? Imagine you are watching Netflix at night or transferring money through your banking app, and suddenly the network vanishes. You assume it's a technical glitch. But the next day, the issue remains. A week passes, and now it's no longer just a glitch, it's a threat to the very existence of the country's third-largest telecom company. Yes, we are talking about Vodafone Idea, a company that recently told the government that without urgent support, it may be forced to declare bankruptcy. And the question isn't just whether the company will survive, but what happens to its 200 million users. Today, we'll dive deep into this alarming issue. But before we begin, if you are new to our channel, don't forget to subscribe so you get all the latest updates first. So let's begin today's discussion without delay. If this company's network shuts down, it could cripple the backbone of India's communication system. From banking and online education to health apps and cab bookings, our everyday life could come to a halt. On Friday, 16th May, Vodafone Idea made it clear to the central government that without state support, it will not be able to continue its operations beyond the current financial year. The company stated that if the government doesn't step in, it will be forced to approach the National Company Law Tribunal, NCLT, and declare itself bankrupt. This wasn't just a corporate warning, it served as a financial alarm bell for the government of India as well. At a time when the government is promoting Digital India, expanding 5G and aiming to bring internet access to every citizen, the collapse of a major telecom player like Vodafone Idea creates a direct contradiction to that vision. Currently, Vodafone Idea owes the government 1.95 lakh crore, mostly related to spectrum fees. Out of this, 1.18 lakh crore is linked to spectrum sales, an amount the government expects to recover. But if the company goes bankrupt, this massive sum may never be recovered, leading to a significant blow to the government's treasury, which is already burdened with subsidies and welfare schemes. Moreover, this lost revenue could have been invested in critical sectors like infrastructure, education, and healthcare, but now, all of that is at risk. A major reason behind the company's current crisis is the lack of support from banks. Although the government recently acquired a 49% stake in Vodafone Idea through equity conversion, and the company also raised 26,000 crore in equity investment, the banks still refused to offer any backing. This hesitation reflects a deeper concern. Banks do not have confidence in the company's future. And if banks themselves are unwilling to provide loans, how will the company continue its operations? This question now stands not only before the company but also before policymakers. At this point, the company has only one option left: bankruptcy. And if that happens, the impact won't just be on investors or the government, but also on the 200 million mobile users who still rely on Vodafone Idea's network. Just imagine the chaos that could unfold if such a massive network suddenly shuts down. Banking, healthcare, education, even basic OTP-based services could come to a halt. Small businesses relying on digital payments could go offline. Rural India, which has only recently connected to the digital world, could be pushed back into digital darkness. This crisis isn't just about a telecom business, it could trigger social imbalance on a national scale. Amid all this, Vodafone Idea has recently filed a new petition in the Supreme Court seeking further relief on adjusted gross revenue, AGR, and spectrum dues. The company is requesting that the court grant it a waiver of over 30,000 crore in penalties and interest. According to the company, the AGR judgment prevents the government from offering any such relief, which is why it has turned to the judiciary. This is not just an economic issue. It's a matter of judicial discretion and social responsibility. Can the nation's highest court provide relief to a sector that forms the communication lifeline for 200 million people? But there's another angle to this petition. Vodafone Idea has also argued that when the government converted Agar and Spectrum dues into equity and acquired 49% ownership in the company, it effectively became a partner in the business. In such a scenario, if the company is in crisis, the government also bears a share of the responsibility. In other words, the government is now not just a regulator, but a stakeholder. This significantly increases the government's accountability and responsibility. And if the government now backs away from this role, it could raise serious questions about its credibility, both among investors and the general public. The impact of this entire episode is not limited to Vodafone Idea alone. It is an alarm for the entire telecom industry. Already, due to the tariff war between Jio and Airtel, many smaller companies have either shut down or merged. If Vodafone Idea goes bankrupt, it will essentially eliminate competition and push the market towards monopoly. This will have a major impact on issues like service quality, pricing, and data security. In a monopolistic situation, consumers lose their choices and are forced to accept expensive tariffs and poor services. Meanwhile, the government also faces a dilemma. If it supports the company, there will be political pressure questioning why taxpayers' money is being given to a private company. And if it does not support, then there's a risk of 200 million users being affected, banks losing their dues, and the government's own stake sinking. This situation has become a damned if you do, damned if you don't scenario for the government. Every decision carries risk and could have long-term consequences. In this situation, all eyes are now on the Supreme Court's decision and the government's next move. Will the government come up with another bailout package? Will the NCLT give the company a chance to restructure? And most importantly, will 200 million users be forced to port their SIM cards to another network? Or will the government introduce a policy that not only saves Vodafone Idea but also provides long-term stability to the entire telecom sector?
If our video has taught you something new, do not forget to like and share this video so that this information can reach others as well. Your likes and shares are a source of inspiration for us. If you have any questions or suggestions, please let us know in the comments. It will be our honor to answer your questions and listen to suggestions. And yes, if you like our content, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so that you stay connected with every new story. Thank you. GRT Business YouTube channel sources: news from various news agencies, opinion polls, and other public sources. We try to ensure that every report and summary is accurate and verified, but we are not responsible for any dispute or error. Our aim is only to provide you with accurate information.